Hi guys, so I took the T5 test 2 days ago. I wanted to upload this because there weren't many videos about it, but I studied for about 2 weeks before I took the test. Um, what I did was I bought the two practice exams from the website and the book, the ATItesting.com, and they helped me a lot. I started studying January 2nd, of course not January 1st because after New Year's, but yeah. I started studying January 2nd, and I did, well, the first thing I did was take the practice test. And I took the practice test, and I got a 70 on it. It helped me a lot because I did not know what was going to be on the teeth before I took the exam. That was the first time I knew anything about it. So I took that. It helped me. It was what's in the exam is the reading, math, science, and English. Well, the reading, I realized with the reading, I had to slow down and actually read the questions because they would try to trick you. Not so much on the paragraph and passive comprehension, but the information source. Like, they'll tell you to look at a map and answer the question, but they'll try to trick you. They'll be like, if you travel west and then north and then east, west again, where would you be? Well, I personally assumed that north would be at the top, south, west, east, but that's not how it is. You actually have to look at the legend to make sure what is the direction of the map. So I just assumed north would be at the top. So I learned that I had to slow down and read the questions. Another thing, on the reading itself, they have like a page of the yellow pages, and they'll tell you if you need like your car fixed, what number should you call, and they'll tell you a problem, and you look, you'll read, and see which number makes the more sense. The only problem with that is that you'll, like, I would focus on the numbers and not actually look at the advertisement on the side. So you actually have to read the whole thing. With the math, I got an 86 the first time. I realized that, I hadn't taken math since 2002, so there were some things I had to do a little refresher on. And that was pretty much it. Math is pretty straightforward. So it's just like you either know it or you don't. They don't try to trick you. Like the math, they'll tell you it's a little, time consuming, but they'll tell you like add 106.74 plus 1,000 something, and it just takes time. So you just gotta prepare for that. And they'll also have like changing decimals, percentages, to fractions, multiplying fractions, dividing fractions, measurements, changing measurements from like yards to feet to inches. That was the typical one I saw in the practice and the actual test. With the science, the first time I took it, I got a 47%. It was mostly because of the chemistry and the life science. Like, there were questions about like domain, kingdom, stellium, order, class, but I didn't remember that stuff because I took that in like elementary school, so I knew I had to go over it to remember. The anatomy stuff I was pretty good because I took anatomy last semester, so I remember most of it. And then the chemistry. Last time I took chemistry was in high school in 2002, so I didn't remember much of it. And then scientific reasoning, just refresh it. If you ever learned it or if you don't know it, there's like a couple questions about it. Just read it. Don't get them wrong like I did. I got like on the first practice test, I got like less than 50% on them because I didn't remember. Um, and the English part, I got a 70 on it, but some of the things I just don't know, and I just didn't think like in 2 weeks I could learn a lot on the English because it was mostly about grammar, spelling, punctuation, and structure. That's something you should learn throughout your lifetime, but English is not my first language, so I knew I wouldn't be able to learn all that much. With the science, I just needed a refresher, so that was my weakness. The good thing about the practice test is that it'll show you what the test is like, and then it'll give you what you need to study according to the book they also sell on the website. And they'll give you like a little report and tell you what to study, what to work on. So for 2 days, I studied some science, trying to remember the things that I learned 10 years ago or so. And 2 days later, January 4th, I took the second practice test, which it was too early. Looking back on it, I wish I would have taken it like a week and a half later instead of so close to each other, but either way, only after 2 days of studying, I would study an hour every single night. I did that for 2 weeks, and after that, I got a 77. And like I said, the good thing about the practice test is that you'll answer the question. It'll tell you if you got it right or wrong right away, and why you got it wrong. So that's really helpful. That really helped me with the reading and the math, realizing, oh, these people are really trying to trick me. Like, they try to trick you. So just watch out in the reading and the math. In the science, you know it or you don't. In the English part, you either know it or you don't. In the reading or math, they try to trick you. You gotta be careful reading the question. So I did that for 2 weeks. I studied, and then I took it again the 18th, and I got an 86.7, and I was happy with that. I ended up getting 100 on the math. Like I said, I just actually slowed down, because usually I would take, it's only 30 questions. It would take me like 15 minutes to answer all the questions and be done with it. This time it actually took me like 40 minutes when I actually took the test, because I actually slowed down and took the time. With the math, I did not know how to answer one question, and I actually just plugged it in and worked backwards with that one. But I ended up getting 100. On the reading, I ended up getting 88%. Like I said, again, with that I slowed down and actually read the questions. I didn't rush through them. With the reading, I actually took almost the whole hour. Like I said, I usually would only take 30 minutes, but I actually took almost the whole hour because the passages were so long. I actually slowed down and read them. And like how it works on the test when you take it on the computer is that it'll say exhibit and it'll open up the passage. But to answer the questions, you have to close it. So I would read the question, open it, close it, read it again. So that's why it took me almost an hour to finish that section. The math, it took me about 40 minutes, which is a lot more than it usually take me. With the science, I ended up getting at 83.3, which is really good, since the first time I took it 2 weeks beforehand, I got a 42%, and it was worth more than anything else on the test, the science, since it's 48 questions. But I was happy with my results, and like with the science, it only took me like 20 minutes. Like I said, the science is pretty straightforward. You either know it or you don't. You know if it's an ionic or Covalent, or if it's this or that. So it's like with the science, you're not really going to take too long doing that stuff. So you either know it or you don't. And another thing with the TEAS-5, you can't go back at any time. They'll give you like 5 questions on that page, and you can never go back to that page, that question. Like from what I understand with other TEAS tests, you used to be able to flag it and then go back and answer it. You can't do that. Once you answer it, 5 at a time, go to the next page. That's it. That's your answer. In the English part, I ended up getting a 76. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to improve much on it. I didn't. And like, I don't think I would. It doesn't matter how much I study, because those are things I should learn throughout my life. But since I didn't go to school here, I didn't learn any of that stuff. So that's why I got a 76, and I'm okay with it. But I hope this helped. If you have any questions, just, put them on the comment and I'll try to answer. Thank you.